Hey guys, today we're playing some Domain Zoo in Modern. So this is a list that we played months and months ago. There really hasn't been many iterations to this specific version, but I wanted to try to give this one a go again. Specifically because Doorkeeper Thrull is pretty good in the meta right now. It stops all the Reanimator ETBs, all the mid-range ETBs with Solitude, Overlord, Philia, all that stuff. So even though the main deck has remained pretty much the same, we'll still go over it and then we'll talk about the sideboard. So for this specific version, we have 3 Consigned to Memory and 4 Doorkeeper Thrull. So both of these cards are for our ETBs. Doorkeeper Thrull just stops them completely, so that way when you cast Phlage, when you cast Nulldrifter, they stay in play. Nulldrifter is a cast trigger, which is even better, so you get to draw the 2 cards and it stays in play. Phlage, you don't get the ETB, but you get a 6/6. So in response to the sack triggers for Phlage and Nulldrifter, you have the 3 Consigned to Memory to cancel that trigger. Other than that interaction, the rest of the deck is pretty stock domain with your Ragavans, Kavus, and Scions. For the sideboard, we have our 4th Consigned to Memory for Eldrazi decks, combo decks, Stub for Counterspell, Rest in Peace, and Surgical for Graveyard decks, Wrath the Skies for board wipes, Wear Tear and Stony Silence for artifacts and enchantments, same with Clarion and activated abilities, and then Damping Sphere for Eldrazi decks, big mana decks. So that's just a quick overview of Domain Zoo in Modern. Before we get into the video, I want to quickly talk to you guys about becoming a YouTube channel member. You'll get access to a lot of cool perks like loyalty badges, cool emotes, and early access to videos like this one. Also, we are Mana Traders content creators, so if you want to save up to 25% on your first subscription, all that information is in the description below. So if you want to see more modern content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's get in the gameplay. Alright, match 1 on the draw. We're going to keep this hand. We have Leyline. We don't want to see any more lands, but we have Thrall in case we draw anything. We just have a lot of good top decks as long as they're not lands. We can Surveil for them also. They just go Scalding Tarn and pass. And of course we draw land. So let's Surveil. And here's another land. We will bin it and hope to never see another land again. Thundering Falls. Kori Steelcutter to the graveyard. Interesting. Slick Shot. Mishra's Bauble. I'm surprised they didn't keep this and just cast Kori Steelcutter this turn. Get him for 3. So Doorkeeper Thrull is never going to live against this deck, but we'll try it. Jesus, dude. Another land. Insane. Play Arid Mesa. We'll pass. I'm not going to bolt this. They shouldn't have any counter spells main deck, and I want them to think that they're like safe to pop off here. Kori Steelcutter. This doesn't play around Mutagenic Growth though. Doesn't look like they have it, so we're just gonna bolt this, and we're gonna Surveil, trying to put all the lands to the graveyard. Thundering Falls. Scion would win it. Lightning Bolt. I'm gonna say no for now. We have so many better draws. Guys, seriously, what the hell? Just gonna play Wooded Foothills and pass. We've drawn no spells. We've drawn only lands. Another Kori Steelcutter. They get to trigger it twice. DRC. They get him for 4. Again, Scion just wins the game on the spot. We're not gonna crack any more lands because we don't have Surveil lands and we want to conserve life. So we'll flash in Doorkeeper. There we go. Phlage. That's a good one. Alright, we're gonna play Arena of Glory. And we're gonna haste the Phlage. Cast Hasty Phlage. We'll keep back Doorkeeper Thrull. Gonna hit DRC. And then we'll pass. This is good to keep back just in case they have another Slick Shot and they want to pop off. But it looks like they have just a lot of spells to double trigger these. Ooh, Iteration is just the best. This is 6 damage. They find a Bauble. Ugh. Yeah, they're going to go nuts here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They bubble us. They have another Iteration? Oh my god. Alright, we're definitely chumping. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They find a Scalding Tarn. They could just bolt us and kill us. Just all of this. So many dead draws. And they do have the Lightning Bolt. They target Thrall. And we're dead. Alright, against Prowess. Let's see if we can draw not 1,000 lands. Gonna bring in Wrath the Skies. I think Wear Tear for Kori Steelcutter is decent. Ragavan's gonna come out. This is gonna come in. I'm gonna try that. Alright, game 2 on the play. 5 lands, Nulldrifter, Leyline. See, this sucks because if we ever draw Scion, this hand is just insane. Or just like any threat. I'm gonna keep it. I think against Prowess, it's like... I know we have 5 lands, but... we're going to be surveilling at least twice. There's no way we flood 2 games in a row, right? So let's see. Get a Thundering Falls. Land to the graveyard. Oh my god, dude. And like, come on. Flooded Strand. I feel like I'm getting pranked here. Thundering Falls. I'm assuming they have a Steelcutter and a Bauble something. Wow, they bin another Steelcutter. Spire Bluff. Preordain. Yeah, if they bin Steelcutter, they must be looking for like lands or something. 1 top, 1 bottom. Maybe they're holding open Bolt for Lush Portico. Nulldrifter. Say Graveyard. I don't think we need another one right now. Leyline Binding is decent. Let's go Plains. Evoke. Guys. What is this? Alright. Well, hopefully we've cleared all the lands from our entire deck. We've drawn 11 lands in the top 15 cards. There's Kori Steelcutter. Wow, no plays. Okay. Good for us. Yo. Alright, we'll play Temple Garden. Pass the turn, hold up Leyline Binding. Alright, they play DRC. Probably trigger Steel Cutter here. Wow, what are they? They must be holding a lot of removal or counter spells. I'm not gonna Leyline Bind. Oh my god. Okay, well, play Mountain. I guess we'll pass. I'm trying to think if I want to Leyline this. I don't know. You could Leyline it so that way they can't Surveil, but they're just like not doing anything. They must have like a bunch of consigns in hand. There's Iteration. Lightning Bolt to the graveyard. I guess we'll Leyline Binding this. Mishra's Bauble. Now they have both of these. Cast Binding. See if they have like a consign. Alright, it doesn't look like they do. I don't want to Binding. Do I want to Binding this? See if they cast something else maybe. I feel like we should, just because it's going to get in for a bunch of damage anyway. Alright, they bubble us. They fetch. Why are they fetching now? We could Leyline Binding in response. I kind of just want to see what they cast. If they cast like a Slick Shot here, they suspend a Slick Shot. So we could take 2, or we could save Leyline Binding for Slick Shot. This is going to make more. I think we just Leyline Binding it now. Because they're going to get to cast Slick Shot and another spell, which will trigger this. We draw Wrath Disguise. Okay, well, play land and pass. Now I kind of regret doing that, but it's okay. Maybe they'll overextend. Another Query Steel Cutter. Okay. If they want to trigger Steel Cutter, then they can cast Slick Shot, but if they want to do it the other way around, just to get the Prowess, maybe they have more spells. Yeah. So they're going to cast Query Steel Cutter. They're going to Bolt before they cast Slick Shot. Down to 14. They have 5 damage here. They could have had way more damage. I don't know what this is. There's Scion. Play land. Gonna cast Wrath Disguise. X equals 2. And just hope they don't have a consign. Hope they didn't draw a consign, because they didn't have one before. Assuming this is gonna be... Wow, they don't have anything. Okay. Cast Scion. This is like the first threat we've drawn. I don't count Nulldrifter. So now this can stop Slick Shot. They cast Slick Shot. Swift Spear. They're just gonna go all out here. They cycle. They get in with both. We're gonna block here. They have to have a bunch of mutagenics in order to kill Scion. Okay, they didn't. And guess what we drew? It's a land! Let's attack. Maybe they didn't think about the first strike. I mean, I guess we'll play it. There's no reason not to. We have 2 more. Preordain. Query Steel Cutter. The third Query Steel Cutter. If they attack, we're not gonna block. It'd be an amazing bluff. They do attack. Wow, they just had nothing. Now we're gonna hold lands to loot with Kavu. Cast Kavu. Now we get the double block. What's in their hand? They've just like done nothing? I have no idea. They attack with both. We're gonna double block. They attack, they mutagenic, they die, and they concede. It's tempting to run some stubborn denials. Maybe like out 2 Thralls for 2 stubs. Just because again, Thralls typically never gonna live, and I don't really want to see a bunch of them. Alright, we're gonna keep this. It doesn't have Leyline, but it has Scion. Some good stuff here. We have turn 2 Kavu, DRC. Flooded Strand. Alright, I guess we'll start on a Flooded Strand, and we're just going to get Domain. Another DRC. Into Ghost Vacuum. Okay, that's fine. Double Surveil, both of these to the graveyard. Kind of wish I had that fire, huh? Just snipe both of these. Alright, we're definitely going to slam Scion. Get Indatha. Those are Plains. Team Vents, play Scion. It's obviously not as good without Leyline, but it's something. They Surveil, Mutagenic to the graveyard. They attack with both. Alright, they bolt. They bolt us. Down to 11. Find another Kavu. And play Plains. It's so awkward because without Leyline, we attack. They only have 1 card in hand. If we attack and they get Delirium, we have to Leyline Binding 1. We take 3. Alright, we're gonna attack. Then we'll cast Kavu. Then we'll just hold up Leyline Binding. Another Lightning Bolt. Lava Dart to the graveyard. They attack with both. I'm gonna cast Leyline Binding. Eat 1. Go down to 5. And we'll pass. They have 0 cards in hand. Wow, we draw the Phlage. Oh man, that's huge actually. So let's go red, white, cast Phlage. Literally the best draw possible. Eat this, consign this trigger. Attack with both. Discard a land. Put them down to 10. Draw another Kavu. Alright, they have 1 turn to draw out of it. Definitely the best top deck. And they don't draw it. Alright, match 2, and we have the combo. So we're gonna keep. Put in Leyline. We have turn 1 Leyline Binding into turn 2 Scion. Hopefully that's relevant. Oh, we're up against Tron. So not as relevant as I would like. That's unfortunate. We do have the main deck consigns. Oh, Nulldrifter and a Talisman. So this is going to be like through the breach. Another land. So let's play Wooded Foothills. We could eat this Talisman. Do we want to eat this Talisman? I'm going to eat this Talisman. This could just be like huge for them, or it could mean nothing, but Leyline Binding is not really going to have too many targets. But Jugabog. So this is like Temur ramp maybe? We get Scion going. Jesus, dude. What else is new, right? Play Wooded Foothills, cast Scion. Just dying to not draw a land. Would love to draw a Consign. Consign's probably one of the better draws. Another Talisman. Rumble. Emrakul, Ugin, Ice Till. Ooh, okay. So we actually just played this deck. We just posted a video about this deck. They take Ugin, Kavu. So let's attack, get him for 4. I'm going to shock this in and play Kavu and then just surveil with Wooded Foothills. So it's Ice Till. So I think snagging this was like getting their green mana, which was nice. Another Rumble. They find Rumble, Devour, Temple, another Talisman. Wonder what they take. Probably the Temple. They do take the Temple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can cast Ugin next turn, but they can target Leyline, that's it. So we want a Consign to memory. Definitely the best draw possible. Thundering Falls, Arid Mesa, another land to the graveyard. Leyline Binding, that's close. Let's attack. This will trigger, discard, Steam Vents, another Leyline. We'll pass. They have 4 cards in hand. They could return Nulldrifter. Play this tapped. I guess we'll pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if they just cast Ugin here, they eat the Leyline Binding. We Leyline Binding the Ugin. Alright, they had the land anyway. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, imagine if we had Consign here. So let's fetch. Get Indotha Triumph. They're going to gain life. They're going to +2, and in response, we're going to Leyline Binding. Hopefully they don't have any other colorless spells. Alright, and they just scoop. Cool. So we do have the Damping Spheres. We have Consign to Memory. I mean, Stub, pretty solid. Wear Tear, decent. I think Lightning Bolt, not very good. Definitely want this. Leyline's just like not the greatest here. Like we could bring in Stony and Wear Tear. So I think we're just going to take out 2 Phlages. We'll try that. We're just going to be a more control-y deck. I mean, turn 1 Ragavan into turn 2 Scion. Ugh, this would be amazing against like any other deck. Let's try it and just feel sad about it. Maybe it gets there. Obviously, Leyline is not the greatest against Tron. Maybe you should mull just because this isn't the greatest and we have so many sideboard cards. Maybe we'll draw Damping Sphere. Wow, Consign to Memory. Let's play Foothills, Ragavan. This is definitely one of the better draws. They Surveil. Temple to the Yard. Ugin's Lab. Emrakul. Talisman. Kozilek's Return. Okay. Nulldrifter. So I think we have to get Scion down instead of holding up Consign this turn. Ragavan would have been amazing, so we could do both. Rumble. They find Dismember, Talisman, Ugin's Lab. So they can take Talisman or Ugin's Lab here. I feel like they're going to take Lab. They do. They play it. They put Devour underneath. They have 2 cards in hand. No plays. Alright, well, we're definitely holding up Consign. Up to 24. Do we need more than just 2 triggers on this? I'm going to say no. Leyline Binding. I'll keep it on top. 4, 5, 6 mana. Oh my gosh. Cavern of Souls. Okay, well, so we're not going to be consigning any large creatures, but we will consign the triggers. See what they have here. It is an Ugin. Okay, we don't care. We're going to consign, replicate, counter both triggers. Now we're drawing Leyline Binding. So let's play Flooded Strand first, and then we will evoke. See if we can find another Consign. We do not. We get them for 4. They have 1 card in hand, but they have an Emrakul, so it's going to be a little rough here. 4, 5, 6 mana. Devour can also eat Leyline. They might try to set up for next turn. Evoke Nulldrifter. Oh, trigger Kozilek's Return. Yeah, that'll kill Scion. That's a good one. Eldrazi Temple. So they can return this at the end of our turn and then cast it and eat Leyline. They have another spell. Kozilek's Command. Jeez, really good draws for them. I thought we were good when we found the Consign, but this is just like gross. 1 top, 2 bottom. All right, we will Surveil. Lush Portico. Phlage to the graveyard. Damping Sphere. It's actually pretty funny. So let's shock this in. We have to cast Phlage first, and then Damping Sphere. So we'll cast Phlage, put them down to 8. Did not mean to fetch, but it's fine. Get a Blood Crypt, just to be safe. Like if they somehow destroy Leyline. Play Damping Sphere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I mean, the spawn tokens are relevant here, unfortunately. You could Phlage one of them, because they can bring this back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, they'll have 7. They could bring back Devour. They could probably bring back Emrakul at this point. That's what they do. I mean, if they want, they could actually Devour the Damping Sphere because of Leyline. They play a Forest. We'll see which one they win the target. Oh, they do eat the Leyline. That's good for us. God, we draw a land. Play the Mountain. Red, red, white, white. Let's fetch. Get a Sacred Foundry. Red, red, white, white. Red, red, white, white. Cast Phlage. Trigger. Put them down to 5. Would have been sick if we drew the, what's it called? Arena of Glory. So we're going to save Leyline Binding for Emrakul if they try that plan. They do attack with Devour. I'll take it. See what their follow-up is. Do they have the Ugin? I feel like they do. Oh, they do have the Emrakul. Okay. So that's fine. That's going to resolve. Cast Leyline Binding. Target Emrakul. They do have a Leyline Binding they can waste on a spawn. We draw another land. Fantastic. So they can waste a binding. That's all they can really do here. So they concede. Cool. All right, match 4 on the play. And we're going to keep this hand. We have a turn 1 play, turn 2 Thrall into Phlage if we can draw the lands for it. So Wooded Foothills. Go get some Steam Vents. Cast Ragavan. If Ragavan can live, that'd be pretty cool. Then we can Doorkeeper Thrull holding up Bolt. Bogart Bog, so most likely Necro, and this is probably going to get pushed. There we go. No surprise there. Another Doorkeeper Thrull. We're going to shock in Temple Garden. We'll hold up Doorkeeper Thrull, and then if we don't draw the land... I mean, even if we do, we might just hold up in Leyline Binding for Necro. Marsh Flats. We've just been seeing this deck so much. Thoughtseize. Assuming they take the Leyline Binding. And there it goes. I'm going to flash in the Thrull. See if this lives. Another Lightning Bolt. So I'm saying, in this league, whenever we want to draw lands, we don't draw them, and then just like vice versa. Just can't seem to win here. They're probably going to Surveil, I think. If they kill this, that's totally fine with us. Second push. All right. And I almost thought they didn't have a third land, but they just went to their second main. Gonna go again. Cast Phlage. You could attack first, but it's whatever. Attack for 1. See what they have here. They shock in a Godless Shrine for Philia. Well, we tapped out, unfortunately, so now we can't kill the Philia in response. Hopefully they don't have an Overlord. If they find Solitude, we're kind of not in the worst spot because we have Doorkeeper, but yeah, there's Overlord. We do get to eat the Philia. They find another Philia, though. But that's fine because we have Double Bolt. Thrall's really good against this deck. Hopefully they don't have the third push or pending. Yeah, it looks like... Oh, Bones. Okay. That's fine. No attacks. Consign to Memory. Alright, so we're just going to attack and then Double Bolt them. Phlage. Put them down to 6. Wow, they block like that. Go down to 5. Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt. And there you go. Alright, so we're up against Esper Midrange. Consigns are actually really good against this deck. Wear Tear is really good. Rest in Peace. Moderate. Doorkeeper Thrull is obviously the best card in this matchup, as long as it doesn't get pushed. So we definitely want Wear Tear at least. Maybe on the draw, Ragavan gets less. Maybe we don't need that third consign either. I'll just try this. Oh, we do have the Leyline, and at least 2 lands. We're going to keep, but in Leyline. No Scion, but this is still solid. No Thoughtseize, love that. Wow, there's the Scion. Okay. Cast Ragavan. The one good thing about Ragavan is that it eats removal. So like, push is so good against our deck. Like, this is fine. They push it. You could always, like, wait and Surveil. Wow, there's the Thoughtseize. Damn. Alright, Scion's definitely leaving. Oh, they take the Kavu. Alright, so they have a consign. That's so annoying. Doorkeeper Thrull. Alright, we're just gonna pass then. There's no reason to not take the Scion here, unless they have the consign to memory. There's Meticulous Archive. They do keep it on top. The only upside to casting Scion there is so that they can't Surveil. So we could flash in Doorkeeper Thrull. Or Surveil looking for a land. Yeah, let's just flash it in. You could also save it after you have Scion. They flash in Philia, interesting. Steam Vents. So they're holding up Consign here. So we don't want to Phlage. So there's a couple plays we could do. And this could also be push. So if we Phlage and they push this, we just have Phlage out and then kind of Solitude. Kind of want to just bolt this. Let's just bolt this. We'll attack. It's like, I'm not sure. If we Phlage, we do get a Phlage into play. But then they untap, and if they Philia the Thrall, they could Solitude the Phlage. Maybe I'm playing too scared. Yeah, like they had the Overlord. Oh wait, they can't... Oh, never mind, never mind. So they do get the Philia back. They may have Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Solitude, Witch Enchanter. So they could get Witch Enchanter for this. So we're probably going to have to double fetch here. They return Solitude. Alright, so we'll pay life. Definitely want to get the Indatha Triome. And then we're going to Surveil, get Thundering Falls. Leyline Binding, we'll keep that on top. So are we assuming they have another Philia here? And if we tap out for Phlage, they Philia, blink this, and then maybe Solitude again. We're in like that same spot again. They could also consign this trigger. Let's attack. I think we just cast Phlage. See if they run out Philia. Okay, they don't have one. We know their hand is Solitude, Consign most likely, and then 2 mystery cards. Another Overlord. So Overlord's not doing much. They find another Philia, but they're stuck on 2 mana. Alright, they evoke Solitude, which does nothing, but I wonder if they forgot about Doorkeeper Thrull. Or they just like want it in play. Probably not. Overlord ticks down. They pass to us. Kavu. Let's attack. So if Phlage eats this, they have to flash in Philia, maybe? They don't have the push, right? Oh, they do have the push. Okay. Interesting. And they're still holding up the consign. All right, so if we draw a land, we can get back Phlage, which is cool. Play Kavu out, and we'll just hold up in Leyline Binding. Again, we know their last card is 1,000,000% that consign. If it's not, they've been playing us this entire time, and I'm going to feel terrible. But they left the Scion, so there's no way it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These trigger. They're going to go to 1. They can't use this fetch anymore, and they concede. All right, welcome to the final match. This is a hand of 4 lands. We have turn 1 Lightning Bolt, turn 2 Leyline Binding, turn 3 Nulldrifter. I think we can try it. We're going to lead off on Lush Portico. They play Polluted Delta. I feel like every deck we played against has been Delta decks. Oh, another land. Let's just lead off on Foothills, I guess, and pass. I'm just going to keep complaining about it every game. Like, we keep a land-heavy hand, but then we continue to draw more lands, and it looks like we're up against the same deck. Just kidding, it's Esper Reanimator. This hand is terrible against them. They bin Atraxa, and then Goryo's Vengeance Atraxa. We'll see what they get. Probably just going to concede. We do have the Leyline Binding, and this isn't going to stick around. So this is similar to the deck that we 5-0'd with. They choose Atraxa, Goryo's Vengeance, and Marsh Flats. Okay. So they just get to do it again next turn, maybe? All right, we'll fetch. Get an Ndatha Triome. This will tell them what we're on, but this is always the best for them, though, when they can entomb using a Surveil land and then just have the Goryos. Find another Leyline Binding. Play Foothills, Psychic Frog. No plays. They do get to discard the Atraxa, unfortunately, even though they discard Atraxa to hand, so they have a Goryo's Vengeance. I don't know why they did this then. Get a Thundering Falls here. Doorkeeper Thrull. I'm going to keep that on top. It stops the Atraxa shenanigans, but they could always have removal. So let's play the Plains, and then we're going to pass. Let's see what they do here. They fetch. We know they have Goryos in hand. That's why I'm so confused why they didn't Goryos last turn. They Surveil. They keep it on top. All right, there's the Goryos. Flash in Doorkeeper Thrull. Atraxa lands. So it's just a 7/7 right now. They're just going to get in with both. Block like this. See if they want to pump. And then we're just going to Binding it anyway. They discard Mending. Cast Leyline Binding. Eat the Frog. Going to go down to 4. They Ephemerate Atraxa. So we have the Vengeance for this, but now we can't. So we have the Leyline. Flooded Strand. We'll fetch. We just go to 1 here? I think we just go to 1. Cast Leyline Binding. Oh my god, they had Force. Alright, well, we were never beating Force. I mean, you could, like, chump here, but they have Ephemerate. Like, I don't know. Alright, well, against Reanimator, we have the Rest in Peace. We have the Surgicals. I'm going to take out the Phlages. Definitely want Stubs. Want all of this. Take out a Bolt. Like, 1 Nulldrifter. And try that. On the play for game 2. And this is a 1-lander, so we're going to mull. Oh, we have lots of graveyard interaction, so we're going to keep. Got to figure out what to put back, though. Like, Thrull's really good against Solitude. Everything like that. Kavu's just like good pressure, and Binding's just great removal. I think we definitely need the Binding. I'm going to put back Kavu. I know if we land one of these, the other isn't as strong, but if we don't, then we're going to be happy we kept it. Especially if they have Thoughtseize. Surveil. Catchermoose. Okay. So this is pretty similar to our version. So because we only have the Temple Garden, we're just going to get the Thundering Falls here. Scion is a threat, but we can't really cast it. We're going to force check them. Draw the Lightning Bolt. Do they have the rest? Do they have the Force Negation? They do not. Now we just need to find some pressure. And hopefully they don't just have like a Frog or something. If they do, we can Binding it. This is what it looks like they have. Terrible draw. Gonna cast Leyline. They didn't have the Force last time, so they shouldn't have it this time. Hopefully no interaction. No more creatures. Alright, they warp. Hopefully no land Ephemerate, and it looks like they do not have a 3rd land, so that's good. Land, Nulldrifter. Alright, so we're gonna end of turn Thrall, hoping to draw a land. No, another Frog. Alright. Again, you could argue maybe bringing in Conqueror just because it's good against Bones and Frog. Alright, they just evoke a bunch of Solitudes. Pretty funny. Now we need removal. Land, please. Oh, God. Just not working out, man. Lands have not been our friend this league. They pitch Purge and Atraxa. Hopefully we get to cheese them. Okay. They do pitch here. They get in with everything. Yeah, that happens. They draw. Not really a good time to bolt this. Maybe next turn if we double block. They do find their 3rd land. There's the Bones. We'll flash in Doorkeeper Thrull. Most likely not winning this game. If we don't draw a land, we'll just scoop. Yeah. Unlucky, man. Alright, so that was Domain Zoo and Modern. Not too much to say about that league. The land issue was just very apparent. We either flooded or just missed our lands. The games we won were like closer than they probably needed to be. The only 2 decks we lost to were graveyard decks, and we kind of got cheesed out both times, but it's going to happen. So for this deck, like we talked about, Thrall is supposed to be pretty solid against a lot of the meta right now, but the deck definitely didn't perform like we wanted it to. It has no card selection, no card advantage other than a few Nulldrifter, but that's definitely not going to make too much of a difference. So if you draw like we did, you're just not going to win games. Overall, Zoo is a solid deck. This is playing just a bunch of very powerful cards that you just kind of need to draw in the right order, and if you don't, those games will happen. But that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more Modern content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.